So I've updated the notes.openmrs URL with
Mm-hmm.
whatever I've done. So basically, I fixed four of the issues that we saw last week. I'll quickly see my comments. So yeah, I fixed these things. Like first is the space, having a space in the login, right? So that was breaking, and that's been fixed. And making sure the back button doesn't work on the login page, that's done. Um, and added scroll bars to the home page, the main activity, because sometimes the forms button doesn't appear in a small phone, it seems. So that's been done. And the last one is there was a small skip logic being missed out that Manu pointed out, saying whenever we choose the first dispensary or second dispensary visit, the PHCT should not be shown. So that was working fine. But if you do a save draft and go back and come back again, so that gets lost, right? So that's been fixed. So these
Mm-hmm.
four things I have fixed it. Okay, and I thought that's what I had in my bucket. But then I saw here today about some the password field which I wasn't aware much. So maybe I'll take a look into that later. There is some I couldn't able to open that URL. So there was something right. The password field in small phones or something. The keyboard is hiding the password field or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that I haven't got a chance to see. That's the only thing that's pending from my bucket from the last week discussion.
Okay. Yeah, I also fixed the more than 60 patient downloading, but it still needs
Yep.
some testing.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's a great fix in fact, because I didn't think it would be something it's so easy to it's good. I saw that email. That's yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Because I think that's the most priority issue that we discussed. Because all the works that I have fixed is more like a usability issues or something like that. But the one that you fix is more of a priority. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah, sorry, the internet is a little weird over here.
okay. Um, Manu and Regan, do you guys have more bug and issues that you guys want to discuss?
Um, well, just one, and this is it's not really a bug, it's more like a query.
Mm-hmm.
So, assuming somebody uses the app to collect like 10 or 20 or 30 records, however many,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason, a bug or something, you have to reinstall the app. So, like, what we noticed, and maybe this is where we are wrong, what we noticed is like all the stuff that you collected is lost the minute you install the app. So, wondering if there's any way to persist that data, or if there's any mechanism, like a documented mechanism that somebody can use to recover what was collected before the app was reinstalled, or is that data tied to the app? That's what I'm asking.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying that if somebody accidentally or something uninstall the application, then the data is lost, correct?
Yeah, and I'm wondering if there's any way where that data can be persisted so that, like, if you reinstall, you don't lose the data.
So generally,
I mean, my
reinstallation
feeling
should
is
not
that,
lose the data. So that's what I'm clearing. So reinstallation of the application, you should not ideally lose the data because reinstallation should be
okay,
more of an update.
Yeah.
okay, okay, cool. No, I suspected that. I was just curious, like, what would be the way that somebody would have to go around to doing that? Like, what are the steps somebody would take to, or is it that once the app is installed, is reinstalled, that the data just comes back up?
So
I
I'll
think,
tell you how it should work. I mean, just make sure and test it whether it's working on that way. So if somebody is trying to is having an application, if they have entered the data and if they get an update, assume that they are getting an update, right? and updates are generally more like another APK will be given with the same signed certificate. So when they click on that APK, it reinstalls the application on the same device. In that case, you should not be losing any data. Okay, but there is a
Okay.
case when a user uninstalls a application and tries to install it again. In that case, the data will be lost. That's how it should behave. Now,
Yeah.
your point is, yeah, can we save the data in both the places? Maybe yes or no, but currently you're not doing. Um,
Okay.
Anything to add on this? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it, Prasan. I mean, that's like, that's like what we are wondering, because in some cases when we were facing some of the bugs, we had to intentionally reinstall the app. And if you're saying that when somebody intentionally reinstalls, when somebody does that, they lose the data. If that's the case, then that could be an issue, right? Because I'm thinking that some of the people collecting the data might go out to the field, encounter something, a bug or something that might require an intentional reinstallation of the app. So if that intentional reinstallation leads to data loss, then that could lead to issues. That's what we are thinking.
Definitely, Manu, Regan. So we can. I think Martin is already collecting some features for the next backlog or something. Maybe you can put that one as part of that. But definitely, currently, it's not going to work like that.
Okay, sure. Okay, so just how is the data stored on the app?
Currently, it's stored inside. So how it works is it's a file database. So we don't have any relational database with our application. So it's a simple file database. It's generally files, nothing more than. Don't even call it as a database. It's a file. Okay, so we store everything as files in the system. So the moment you try
Okay.
to uninstall it, what Android generally does is it tries to when you uninstall an application, it clears all the data associated with the application. So your data will get lost. But if you're trying to
Okay.
reinstall the application with the same APK, your data should not get lost ideally.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a simple like a file system, and we write them in the files. How it works is like we just simply write them into the files, and we use something called Lucene engine. So Lucene, what it does is it indexes all these files to make our search uh, faster. So
Yeah.
Lucene is a component of Apache Solar. So it actually indexes the entire file, all the files, to make our search faster. So initially, I think I'm not sure why this decision is made, but my guess is more around they were thinking more of this application as a read-only application. So they were just more concerned about the faster reads or faster lookups in the file. So that's why they went ahead with this decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in Android, I mean, all the application is inside the sandbox. So once you uninstall an application, it will remove all the associated data inside that sandbox. I think that's true for all applications. Like I just tried to uninstall my Facebook and it delete all my preference. Like my login is gone, so I need to re-log into Facebook again. So it doesn't retain um, the old data inside my phone because it doesn't make sense data and then I give my phone to someone else. They install Facebook and now they have my data with them.
Yeah. I mean,
The
I,
small
I,
difference
I
might be.
agree with.
Go ahead.
Sorry. So I was just saying I agree, but I mean, in that case where it's your data and you don't want to share it or something like that, but for us, I guess this is like health data, and the fact is like, okay, I think we might be able to like get data from 100 people, and it might be very difficult to go back to those 100 people. Like if data is lost, it might be difficult to track those people and get that data again. So, I mean, I agree. If this were just like our data, or like a user's data, somebody who's installed mUzima and like their credentials and login, yeah, those don't need to be persisted when the app is reinstalled. But like if you're out collecting field data, and it's kind of difficult to get the same guys again, maybe we should find a way of, I mean, I personally think that we should persist that data, like, even beyond installation and reinstallation. Um, but if that's not possible in the time being, maybe we can come up with like, like a set of steps that somebody should do before they reinstall, which would involve first getting those files, creating a dump, like copying them onto your machine first, and then doing the reinstallation. I don't know if that makes sense.
So the ideal way will be is to sync the data to the server. So that's the simplest one that I would suggest them to do. Like if you want to point us, because see our application is a end of the day it won't be having any data of its own, right? So mostly we are consuming data from the servers. So the moment you get some data, if you're planning to uninstall the application, better sync all your data. We don't have much of data. We have only the forms. Okay, so the remaining stuff are all there somewhere in the server. Nothing has been lost technically. Okay, only the forms that are entered in the device is the only data. Okay, so that you can actually sync it into the server
Yeah,
before
syncing
uninstalling.
syncing would work, but there are like two scenarios I could think that could prevent someone from syncing before installing. Like the first is, um, yeah, you're right. Actually, Manu has added one more. Like the first would be, a lot of these mUzima clients will probably be used out in the field. So, like there could be guys supporting them remotely, and in those places they probably don't have network coverage to do the sync. That's one. Or two, it could be that the way mUzima has, like the state it's in, you can't log in to sync. So the data is in there, somebody collected that data in the field, but now we can't, now that we have the device here where there is a network, we can't log in to sync. And then, as Manu pointed out, sometimes the Android device could crash or something like that. So, now you're installing the full set of apps, but you didn't perform the sync before. So, so that's why I'm suggesting to have that sort of persistence. But like you said,
Sure,
it's
I think.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we can
sorry.
add this functionality. Maybe yeah. Sorry, we can add a functionality something like backing up data from the device or something like that to the backlog list, and yeah, and let's see whether Martin wants to prioritize it and go ahead and
Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes
can we
sense.
move on to the? Do we have any other bugs? Because sorry.
Yeah, we can have this discussion with, and maybe in the probably for a future release,
Yes,
because we
exactly.
need to really think about the implication of storing the data, persisting the data on the phone beyond um, apps install reinstall is the security. Like, what's going to happen if someone have access to your phone? They will have access, even though you already removed the application. The patient data will still be there. I mean, it's not just a matter of programming, because I can see the security breach implication. I think,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we can
Well,
have.
you're right, but we could like always sign that data, or something before storing it on the device. So if it's encrypted, you know. But
Yeah,
but you're right. I mean, we probably will need a much bigger discussion to sort that out.
yeah.
Um, and maybe just one more before it ends. So one of the things we were testing out is how mUzima performs on a tablet. So we had like 7-inch devices and 10-inch, and it works fine more or less. But we kind of noticed that the layout isn't as responsive as it should be. Like on a bigger screen.
Mm-hmm.
So like you could probably put a lot more stuff on a bigger screen because it looks stretched out, and all that. So maybe that could also be a consideration for like a next version or something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I think we only have like one landscape layout file defined in the mUzima project. Yep.
So
Let me.
generally, when I think the problem might be, we have tested that this entire app in tablet. I think the problem more will be around the data, right? The data, we don't have much of data to show in the first place. For example, the home screen, we have only three buttons. So in
Yeah.
tablet, it looks so plain because we have only three buttons, small three buttons. That's it. Okay,
Mhm.
sorry. Yeah, so that's actually the problem. Yeah, maybe these things we can discuss later about how we can handle, how do we want to handle all this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So just one more that we were just investigating with Manu is so when you install the application, there's a sequence of like stuff you do, set up the cohorts, download the forms, and all that. So it's like it seems sometimes it takes a while to download the cohorts, so your screen might dim off. But then when you reactivate your screen and the application, like kind of comes up again, then the download process starts all over again.
Yeah.
So
I filed this under mUzima 19, so it's in the notes. I noticed the same
okay,
behavior as well because I think we lost the dialogue, right, Regan, showing
yeah,
that the download
yeah.
process is happening, and when on pause, I think the dialogue is dismissed. But when we resume the application, um, I think the process on the background is still running, but we lose that dialogue, so we don't know whether the process is done or not.
Oh, okay, okay.
Will we have a progress in the notification bar?
No,
Yeah.
I don't think. I,
Uh,
do we have it? I don't see
yeah.
the.
It's a dialogue, not like a progress bar. So like the dialogue will just disappear, and you want to know if the download is continuing or so. On a slow network, you just probably have to redo it again.
Yeah. Oh,
Wait,
and
was that?
Manu, to speed up the download process, you can
Yeah.
also change the setting for the REST. If you go to
Uh-huh.
the OpenMREST, I just noticed this behavior. I'll send you the link to change this setting.
Ah.
Yeah, so basically I changed the default result size to like 500,
Mhm.
and 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 that I can download the 500, the 400 something cohort in one execution, and that speed up my download process significantly. I tested out. I noticed this when I tested out using to fix that 60 patient cohort issues. By increasing this value, uh, I can download the data significantly faster, like way faster. But yeah,
So I'm
but
just checking the code. Sorry, I'm just checking the code. So I think the problem here is like, so we don't have a notification for progress. We have a notification only after it is done. So maybe we can add a notification for the progress. So similar to the other apps, right? So generally, what the other apps do is whenever you are trying to download, it
mhm.
just gives a notification saying it's downloading. So we can handle it in the same way. And after it's been downloaded, we already have a message in the notification bar which says downloaded. So we can add this message as a progress message in the notification bar, which is more of Android usage.
Yeah, and I think one, if we go back to the wizard UI, I think we need to have the dialogue to block us from pressing the next or previous as well, Prasanna. Because when the screen goes off and then we turn it on, there's no dialogue and there's no way um, to prevent us to press the next button, which will trigger the re-downloading. So we ended up re-downloading the cohort multiple times, I think. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
that.
think having a way that will prevent the user from, if the download is happening in the background, maybe like make the buttons like inactive or something.
Yeah. It
Okay,
says,
when I'll take a look into this. Maybe I'm not so sure now about I mean, what will be the fix for this, but I will drop an email about and find out some fix for this. And I will fix it and then I'll drop it.
okay, yeah, this is the note that I put in the,
Yeah, I saw the bug number 9, right? I saw.
yeah, bug number 9.
Yeah.
Yep. Um, anything else, Manu, Regan?
Yeah. So we're just kind of going through the list.
Okay.
Um, it, so some I can see some bugs have been fixed.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Well, okay, fine. I mean, I guess we'll just follow up with progress on the list, like as stuff gets fixed, and we might start doing some stuff on it as well. So maybe we'll also add some stuff on it.
Yeah. Um, if possible, I'm sending you the email for the last setting. I think if you can test it out sometime in a few days and see if it make the download faster, that will be good.
Yeah. Thanks. Um, so I think we did. Manu is asking me about the issue I mentioned to you in about building the app. So we had an issue specifically with that sticky headers library.
Yeah.
Um, so so what Wayne said is, they'll stabilize the release and then update it. Yeah, because the issue in is we can't. It seems as though that the version that you have isn't available in the Maven repos anymore. So, and for some reason, the new version, trying to pull it, Maven just keeps failing.
Yeah. Prasanna, I think the Maven repo that we use
No,
is in GitHub, right?
yeah. So I think I mean I sent out an email about this issue. I don't know whether you guys read it. So I'll tell you the problem. So the problem is the sticky header, right? It needs Android 14 API 14 because we froze this version. All the code it's there inside our repository itself. You shouldn't download it from somewhere else. Okay.
Ah,
So all the
okay,
code are
okay,
there in
okay.
that thing. Only problem is it needs a different API version to compile. So in your local box, you should be installing API 14 along with the API 18 or whatever you have it for mUzima. Are you guys with me?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, we
compiling
should.
with API 19. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
up to us. I mean, because mUzima can be compiled in anything, but along with that, we should have API 14.
Yeah.
okay, okay. Well, we
If you see
initially.
mUzima Maven, sorry,
Yeah, no. I was saying when we started the build process, we only had 19. So we've added in 14 now, and
now I
and
sent
uh,
out an email.
and
Maybe search out for my email.
okay, okay. I don't
Okay,
think we
just
got the email,
search for
but
my email. Or maybe I'll check it out. If I have it again, I if I have, haven't. I think you are. It's someone new person. I don't know. I'll see who's that.
Yeah, I don't think Regan was in the email before. Prasanna.
Yeah. So we actually froze all the build. If you see, I have pinged the URL, right? That is the sticky list headers that we are using. So this is the GitHub URL of mUzima thing in the chat list I've pasted. So that is exactly what we are using.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Regan. I sent out an email this. Maybe I just forwarded it to again. All three of us are there. Um, so it's sent on April 28th. Maybe I'll forward it again so that I've attached my screenshots of my IntelliJ and also that it's convenient for you people to
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Prasanna. That'll help. Yeah, this is the one I have to use. Sticky headers. Let's join this one.
It's not, no, it's not.
Way down here. Set up your own wrapper. Maven wrapper. Let me just ask you one question, Win and Prasanna.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have this, when you have the sticky list headers from the mUzima Maven repo, you're
Mm-hmm.
able to run the build from here, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because that's the issue I was facing. I was using Android Studio, and for some reason it just kept defaulting to like what was in the Maven repos.
Yeah. I tried to import it using Maven Studio, and it was working fine earlier. But Regan.
So I think the mistake you're
Yeah,
doing,
no,
Regan,
I
here
mean,
is
I guess
yeah. I
maybe.
think we should use the pom.xml in our file in our
Uh-huh.
repository to import it to the Android Studio. We should not downloading or do anything. After checking out the code, right? After doing a git clone, you should simply use the pom.xml to import. Actually, install maybe in the Android Studio, install the Maven plugin. So it gives you an option to import Maven projects. All you need to do is clone
Yeah,
the GitHub
yeah.
repository and open the pom.xml, import the pom.xml as a project.
Import the pom.xml as a project. Wait, Prasanna, is that what you said?
And also, yeah, importing the pom.xml as well. So if you install Maven plugin, right, Android Studio will
Yeah.
provide you an option. So then you can go and say new project, Maven project, and you can choose the pom.xml. It will create the entire structure for you.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Okay, you're right. So I think Android Studio by default doesn't have the Maven plugin, so that's probably why
Yeah.
I couldn't get
It
that.
won't be. That's all. It will not have Maven plugin. Just install the Maven plugin and do this step.
Yeah.
That's what I've sent out an email. The email is just use that email. And only thing is you have to change the API version for different modules there. So that's the only manual configuration that we want to do. If we import it, we automatically get the screenshot that we are having. But we want to change the API versions for the action bar shell alone. Once we do that, it will be good.
Okay, I'll definitely try that. Thanks. I mean, I knew the issue wasn't so complicated. I just couldn't figure out why it kept
Sure.
trying to pull it from central repos. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay. Yeah. When do you think we can have the session to review mUzima.js?
Yeah, Prasanna, when do you have the time to review it? Prasanna? Hello? Prasanna, I think you're still on mute if you're talking.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I mean when he's ready, maybe he can send us an email and then we can get ourselves sorted. I think the earlier the better.
Yeah, I think that's the last one, right? Reagan, just getting us to understand the.
Yeah, I actually would have. I mean, we started doing a little code review of the mUzima source. So I talked to Martin. I asked him, if we could have a session with Prasanna. I mean, we could probably go through the code. It'll probably take us a bit longer to go through all of it. And also, I asked him if he thought it would be worthwhile to just have a session with Prasanna, because he could point out like the major stuff we need to look out for, like
Yeah.
the entry points that we should do in the investigation. But Martin was like, there might be a cost implication or something like that. So we were kind of thinking we'd like do it within ourselves, like split it up, and different guys would study different sections, and then we could do it like our own internal thing.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah.
if that's the case, then Reagan, why don't we schedule it on Tuesday then? How about Tuesday at 8?
Tuesday at that's 5 for us.
I think that's 3 for you guys. Is it 3 or? I think it's 3, yeah. 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Is it part of the? Oh yeah. So sorry, Manu, just go ahead.
Now, I was asking about the issue where we had the dispensary form losing draft data. I don't know, maybe you have any update on that?
Losing the draft data. Which one is this?
Yeah. I don't know if we captured it, but the last time, like on the select the checkboxes on the dispensary form, like if you select on medications and the rest, so you lose that data. I don't know if we had any action item for
Yeah,
that.
I remember Prasanna actually made like he went through the code and we were looking at it, and he said that it's because like the divs have the same name. You remember? And because of
Oh,
that, yeah, like HTML was unable to figure out what the last setting was or something like that. But he said there was a workaround that he was going to
yeah.
implement.
We can go through that too, Manu. We can do it Tuesday as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you send me the, is it in GitHub?
The form?
The current form? Yeah.
Yeah, it is in GitHub.
Hold on.
Always does that.
Hold on. Which repo is it, Manu?
The mUzima Android, I
Android.
think.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Is it this one? This is the latest one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the latest one.
Okay. Okay, I'll look into this and then let me try to update it and see what if it's persisting the data or not.
Oh. So.
Okay. I'll get back to you guys on Tuesday then to discuss this more.
Okay.
Yep. How are you guys gonna plan to go back now?
As long as we are given some overtime by Regan, I have no problem.
Uh,